Hi there, I'm Megan Turner and I'm representing the COVID Crushers as our social advisor. As social advisor, I will be discussing how to get back to pre-COVID activities. I will be discussing how COVID-19 spreads, how to sanitize yourself and how to sanitize areas, and then what other establishments have done. COVID-19 has been one of the most viral viruses in the United States of this century. The Mayo Clinic explains that droplets from coughing or sneezing from a COVID-positive person is the main way of how the virus is spread. It is important to understand how this virus spreads so we can learn how to contain it. We can't resume back to normal activity without doing so safely. So, these droplets can spread to about 6 feet from the host. These droplets or aerosols can also float in the air, so even after the host has left the building or the area, the droplets can still linger for hours at a time. It is very important to know how to keep yourself clean when going back to our pre-COVID activities. So, the Center of Disease Control and Prevention, or CDC, website explains how to properly wash your hands. You should rinse your hands under water, wash them with soap for around 20 seconds, rinse your hands again from any soap or residue, and then dry completely. It is also important to know not to touch your eyes, nose, or mouth. When you are out in public and cannot wash your hands, use hand sanitizer that has at least a 60% alcohol content. But know that this is not a complete substitute for hand washing. This is just what to use when you cannot get to any soap or water. Understanding and following sanitation guidelines are very important in public spaces, especially with objects that are being touched by multiple people multiple times a day. For example, like doorknobs, pin pads at stores, and equipment at gyms. CDC advises on their website to always use protective gloves when cleaning. They also say to use any cleaning solvent that has bleach or 5 to 7% sodium hypochlorite. Also, never mix any sort of cleaning solution together. It can cause harmful gases in the air. Lastly, whenever you're cleaning any soft surfaces, try to use any disinfectant spray or washing it in your washing machine. After all this information, let's look at some establishments that have put it to the test. The first one is Planet Fitness. Planet Fitness explains on their website how they've modified some things to make sure people are still able to utilize their service but be COVID safe. The first one is contactless check-in. People will be checking into their phones instead of checking in at the front desk, so they won't be touching anything. They've also added constant sanitation, so anytime anyone uses a weight or a piece of machinery, it is sanitized. Also, employees are using sanitizing backpacks so they can easily sanitize the gym. Lastly, they've added crowd control. The gym can cut off the amount of people that enter at any point to ensure people within the gym are staying COVID safe and socially distant. Now, let's look at the University of North Carolina at Greensboro. They've allowed students to be in person, but also they've added tons of different safety guidelines to make sure students are safe. They've also added the slogan on UNCG's website, wear, wash, wait. Wear your mask, wash your hands, and wait 6 feet apart from others. They've also added different sanitation stations within the classroom. So there's multiple sanitation wipes, hand sanitizer, and face masks. Lastly, which I think is one of the most hardest things about COVID, is not being able to see your friends and family. So CNN actually has on their website different thoughts and advice from physicians. Most physicians try to explain that if you are going to see a family member or some friends, to meet outside, be socially distant, wear your mask, and always stay safe. Thank you so much for tuning in. As social advisor, I hope we were able to answer all your questions about getting back to our pre-COVID activities through understanding how the COVID-19 virus spreads, to sanitizing yourself and different objects, and how different establishments have been able to resume back to pre-COVID activities.